I'm going to start right off the bat with saying that I was really surprised when they put Sam Wilson in the comic accurate costume from Marvel Comics. Second iteration of Captain America, as far as I'm concerned. He was actually in the costume from the comic. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. You know, it looked a little cringy. I think they should have did some stuff. With it. As far as texture and everything, and I think the sleeves on it was a little weird. Um, but I really can't complain about that. And he was doing some cool stuff. And also there was a level of vulnerability to him. Because he wasn't a super soldier or isn't a super soldier. He had to use ingenuity and just his training as the Falcon. And a lot of training he was trained by Steve himself. How to get things done. And I like that. It looks that Steve had made the right decision in giving him the shield. You know, so I don't mind that. Bucky was Bucky. The Winter Soldier. I guess we can't call him that. We'll just call him Bucky now. I don't want to call him White Wolf. I think White Wolf is like some racist ass shit. You know. He ain't got no Wakanda suit or nothing. Ain't get Bucky no shit like that. And speaking of that, I didn't feel like the new suit and Bucky's arm had any bells and whistles that we didn't already see. I would have liked some extra bells and whistles, like a Wakanda, little nod there. Even though they made Falcon a new suit. I didn't see any really extra bells and whistles. He had like two or three Red Wing drones on it. But I didn't see anything where it's all tech based. He's a highly skilled aerial fighter. So like in the air, you can't fight Sam in the air. You just lose. On the ground, he's just like a regular guy. He just has to deal with shit. And Bucky is a super soldier. And, I liked in this episode, they show Bucky just putting people down. Putting some of these inexperienced super soldiers down. But like even Bucky had that sense of vulnerability to these, because of their numbers. Just one-on-one, 101-year-old man with decades of experience killing and murdering espionage, they wouldn't be nothing to him and whatnot. And, everything was wrapped up in a nice, neat bow. But what I liked was that they did go places that I didn't expect them to go. But sometimes it was a little bit heavy-handed. And I think that's going to put some mainstream viewers off, and I can't really say I care about that. I mean, for decades we've been looking at, standard fare action movies, sci-fi and everything, and it usually shows black people as the subordinates or the sidekicks. This is not I'm not rueful or anything. I enjoy the movies I enjoy, but I feel like somebody will be looking at it through a certain prism. They'll call it SJW. I really didn't see that in this. I really didn't see that. I think that as a straight black man, we do have the right to voice our concerns and whatnot, and have them reflected in our entertainment from time to time. And this was a perfect opportunity and whatnot. I mean, they didn't really go overboard with it. Sam stayed true to his character from Endgame. It's not like he's another character. It's not like they imprinted they didn't indoctrinate him or change him in any way, which is a problem we have today in modern, comics, in TV. It's just something we're going through right now. I don't approve of it. I don't approve of taking a pre-established character and just overwriting it. And I really wasn't into the Black Captain America to begin with, but in the MCU, it just kind of fits. Sam is a crisis counselor. That was his job after serving in the military, and that comes to play here with him talking to people and just being earnest as being a man on the street. He's a man on the ground, even though he can fly above everyone else. And he's a counterbalance between two different ideologies. The super soldier that was hidden away from the world, Isaiah Bradley, is incredible to watch in this series. The little bit we get of him, I would have liked more of him, or at least a flashback to his days in the military. But I don't think the mainstream could handle something like that. So they didn't put that in, or they just wasn't thinking out of the box. They had a couple $100 million to make this show. We don't get enough Isaiah Bradley, in my opinion. We could at least got a flashback or something. That would have been nice to have, but we didn't get that. But we did get Carl Lumbly's incredible performance as this character, who had a lot of issues, and rightfully so. His backstory is tragic. And Sam does what he can to right that wrong. And keep true to his promise to not to reveal Isaiah Bradley's presence to the world. The Flag Smashers just became villains. They were just crazy. They hinted at that, because she had killed some people, that she was kind of going a little nutty. The main flag, Carly Morgenthau, was going a little crazy. But they didn't really, it was just still kind of vague. She just comes off as a crazy with superpowers, Then the U.S. agent shows up, and I expected things to be a shit show. I expected him to have his own agenda. He really didn't. He just was there as backup. He was kind of humble, actually. I'm shocked to say he was kind of humble. And, he's still a little crazy there. And he ended up getting what he wanted, unfortunately. He shouldn't have got that. I think he should have been locked in a raft at the end with Zemo. And, that they should have recruited him out of there, That would have been nice to see him in the raft, locked up and shit. Because he was told not to act as Captain America. He put that costume on anyway. And some people might see, there's a segment of this finale where Sam is talking earnestly to some politicians. Some people might see that as cringeworthy, but I didn't feel it. It was true to his character, who he was. Even if you see him in Winter Soldier, that's something he would probably do, And he had all these years that he had spent with Captain America learning, being friends with him and learning how he thinks and everything like that. And Sam was already optimistic, more or less. There wasn't too much darkness in Sam from the get-go. If you watch all the movies, this is Sam. Sam is Captain America. I just think he needs to up his game. He needs some extra ordnance on that suit. I would have liked some more bells and whistles. The action was okay in this. They had some good set pieces. All the stuff with the Falcon in the air, fighting in the air, flying in the air, was excellent. But the stuff on the ground is lacking, as far as I'm concerned. It was just lacking, man. They even, when he was fighting Batroc, the Leaper, the generic version of the MCU, I always had a problem with that character. I don't mind the guy that plays him, but I just think they could do more with him, as a villain. But he was fighting Batroc the Leaper, and I just kept thinking, if that was me, I would just shoot that guy, He should just pull out his two Uzis that he has hidden in his suit and just blast them and shit. Whatever Wakanda gave him in that suit. But I didn't see, I was hoping for some bells and whistles, to deal with. I was hoping just to be a squash with Batroc, but it wasn't a squash, And then it's just characters, Sam said he called somebody in for help, and then it turns out it's Sharon Carter. I'm like, why would he call fucking Sharon Carter? All the Avengers that he knows, why wouldn't he just call someone else, guys, We know he's not going to call Wanda Vision. We know he's not calling, probably not calling Hawkeye's monkey ass, but that should have been on the table, shit, we're not seeing the Hulk. We know the Hulk's out there, doing God knows what. Rhodey was there. I was kind of, maybe call Rhodey. I was like, hey, maybe call Rhodey. This is right up Rhodey's alley, Nope, didn't call him either. It was Sharon Carter, who is, I was shocked to find out, not really shocked. I was just like, well, it's kind of like the lazy choice or whatever. But Sharon Carter turned out to be the power broker. And, whatever. She's just a spy. She's like an evil spy, that's going rogue. She's like a rogue spy. And I was kind of hoping Sharon Carter would have taken the super soldier serum. That would have been a nice twist that she had taken the shit, But I guess she didn't, because I thought it was the power broker. When that guy first started synthesizing the super soldier serum, she would have been like, oh, bring me some of that shit, and injected herself with it. I would have liked this scene that Sharon was a super soldier. But I guess not. I guess what we're going to do if they have a season 2 is to push her in the direction of that character, the Grand Director. Just look that up. I'm not going to go there. I don't think she'll be fully that character, but I'm just saying I can see bits of that there. And so anyway, whatever. What we have with the Falcon and Winter Soldier is a entertaining 6 episodes. It's not great. It's good. It's just not great. All right. And Sam is Captain America.